Hello students. It has been 2 years since we last taught you inside the classroom. As COVID-19 cases continue to decline, we need to gradually bring you back to the campus with safety and health protocols in place. As such, let us delve into the specifics of the implementation of limited face-to-face classes to get you ready. For first semester, school year 2022 to 2023. The programs are categorized into 3 learning models. Category 1 is a combination of face-to-face and asynchronous classes. In this learning model, students are divided into 2 groups who attend the face-to-face sessions alternately. For example, Group 1 are taking up the face-to-face lecture and laboratory experiments while the other group are given video resources or readings and asynchronous activities. The groups will switch the following week. Programs under this category are the following. Category 2 is a combination of synchronous and asynchronous classes. This is the learning model we have been implementing for the past 2 years. Example class activities are recorded video lectures, online consultations, home-based activities, and online exams. Programs under this category are the following. Category 3 is a combination of synchronous and asynchronous classes and limited face-to-face assessments. Lectures are done online while assessments are held in the campus. Programs under this category are the following. The activities of the classes in categories 1, 2, and 3 are disclosed in the course guides. These course guides, serving as the weekly study schedule, will be shared by your instructors at the start of the classes. Each student will receive an email with a QR code for their appropriate category. This QR code will function as your gate pass. QR codes are color-coded to make them easier to identify. Green for Category 1. Blue for Category 2. Yellow for Category 3. Only students with QR code will be allowed to enter the campus. Each student are only permitted to 1 entry and 1 exit per day or cycle. For new students, you will be receiving PSAU Escuela emails. Your email bears the initials of your first name, your last name and the last 4 digits of your student number. For example, your name is Carlos Miguel de la Muñoz Jr. with student number is GS20221234456. Your email address is cmjdelamuñoz3456@escuela.psau.edu.ph. CMJ from the initials of Carlos Miguel Jr. Delamuñoz from your surname. 3456 came from the last 4 digits of your student number. Your student number is found in your certificate of registration. Your default password for your email is 2022ps@u. Here are some important reminders. N converted to N. No symbols such as hyphen or periods. All letters are lowercase. Let us now discuss how classes will be conducted in each category. Category 1 classes will proceed with the limited face-to-face classes following the recommended groupings and protocols. For Category 1 classes, please be guided by the following. Only fully vaccinated students will be allowed to join limited face-to-face classes. Prior to the start of classes, all students who will join the limited face-to-face classes will submit the following. Copy of the vaccination card or VaxCert. Notarized parental consent. Weekly cyclical student shifting model will be implemented during the conduct of the limited face-to-face classes. All class size exceeding 25 will be grouped into 2 that will attend the class alternately. Prior to the commencement of classes, the registrar's office will provide the official student groupings to be posted by the colleges and departments in their respective social media groups or pages. Class advisors will oversee the students' compliance to the corresponding groupings. Gate 1 right lane will serve as the entry point of the students where the QR codes will be scanned. Meanwhile, Gate 2 will be dedicated to all employees. Upon entry, students will be screened for the following: wearing of face mask and/or face shield as may be required by the IATF, presentation of vaccination card or equivalent, and body temperature check. Individuals will not be allowed to enter the campus premises if they have a temperature of 37.5 degrees or higher, even after a 5-minute rest. This individual may temporarily be placed in the isolation room until he or she is transported to his or her home or health facility. The medical team will attend the individual manifesting COVID-19 symptoms based on DOH guidelines. Presenting valid student identification is also required upon entry. If a student does not have an ID yet, the certificate of registration, a previous semester's ID, or any other acceptable form of identification may be used as a substitute. For the time being, students may not wear uniforms for the limited face-to-face classes they attend, but the attire should still be smart and proper, as stated in the student handbook. Since all subjects of Category 1 classes are to be held in campus, students during their schedules are only to remain in their designated homeroom. To restrict student mobility, the instructor will be moving from one room to another for their in-person classes. The maximum capacity of the classrooms will only be 25 individuals and/or 50% of the classroom size, whichever is lower. For laboratory facilities, the maximum capacity will only be 30% to 50% of the class size. The safety and health protocols will be strictly followed inside the campus. In view of the monitoring of the safety and health protocols, each college has the following: safety and health marshals per building, contact tracers, isolation room, visual cues and health and safety protocol reminders. Physical distancing of 1.5 meters will be strictly implemented. Students are also advised to consult with their instructors during their class period, instead of entering the faculty rooms or offices to minimize contact and mobility. All consultation beyond the class period can be done virtually. Students will use Gate 1 left lane when leaving the campus. The registrar's office will send SMS notifications to your parents every after-class session of the last subject of the day. Category 2 classes may proceed with the usual online synchronous and asynchronous activities. For Category 2 classes, the following shall be followed. PSAU Escuela will remain to be the university's official learning management system, where all class learning materials will be uploaded. Students will be provided with their accounts by the LMS committee in coordination with the registrar's office. Other learning management system may also be used by your subject teachers. Category 2 classes may also be requested for limited face-to-face activities, but this will be requested by the subject teacher for approval. Once the activity is approved, the QR code will be provided to the students and shall be presented upon entry in the Gate 1 right lane. Category 3 classes host the lectures online, but the assessments are held in the campus. For Category 3 classes, the following shall be followed. Students under Category 3 classes will only be allowed to enter for their scheduled face-to-face assessments. Students will also be provided with the QR code for that specific activity to be presented upon their entry to the campus. This QR code is not to be used for other activities and different dates. Once inside the campus, the guidelines for the Category 1 classes shall be strictly followed. The subsequent measures are also to be implemented as to bolster our safety and health protocols. Personal hygiene kits. Students are encouraged to bring their personal hygiene kits, which may contain ethyl alcohol or hand sanitizer, cleansing wipes, tissue paper, toilet paper, hand towel, extra face masks, and hand soap. Stay home when not feeling well. Students who have COVID-19 symptoms may stay at home and shall report their conditions to their professors for monitoring. The medical and surveillance teams will be monitoring their health status, and a notice or certificate will be given upon re-entry to the university. Classrooms, laboratories and other facilities. All colleges has visual cues on safety and health protocols in every classroom, laboratories, and other facilities, as well as markings on the floors indicating directions. Students need to follow the approved foot traffic. Preferably one-way foot traffic, in the ingress and egress of any facility. For two-door classrooms, the door closest to the board shall be used as the entrance while the other door for exit. For one-door rooms, one-way traffic shall be strictly implemented. Students are required to go straight to their assigned rooms upon entering the campus. The college or program will also designate a communal space where the students will be directed, if they arrive early and their rooms are not yet available, to avoid them loitering. Faculty members will also create seat plans. Students are not allowed to sit anywhere and the assigned seat shall be used throughout the semester. Safety and Health Protocols video explainer will also be played at the beginning of each week's first class. All facilities as well as equipment used by the students will also be cleaned and disinfected at the end of each school day. Cafeteria and dining area. Students are not allowed to leave the campus between classes to buy food and drinks. The college or program will also assign a dining room, alfresco dining area or communal space where the students will be allowed to eat, wherein clean-as-you-go and physical distancing will be properly observed. Students are advised to bring their own plates or lunch boxes and drinking bottles and shall be prohibited from sharing food or beverage to anyone. Casual or unnecessary conversations in the dining area is also discouraged. Library services and other shared facilities. Students entering the library and other shared facilities such as computer laboratories shall fill out a record book containing their names, time-ins, and timeouts. All individuals can only stay in the library and shared facilities for 1 hour depending on the maximum capacity allowed and can only visit at least once a day. All books, journals, library materials to be returned shall be placed in a dedicated drop box for disinfection. Commonly shared computer units shall also be cleaned and disinfected before and after use. Accommodation and lodging. Students who reside outside Magalang will be prioritized in the dormitories. Students are encouraged to bring their own sleeping materials and other personal necessities, including food and water good for the duration of their stay. Students are also not allowed to loiter around the dormitory and around the campus during off-class hours, to share their food, gadgets, school materials, utensils, and toiletries. Visitors are also not allowed inside the dormitories. Any item brought by a visitor shall be dropped at the main gate at 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. The implementation of the modified semester will also be continued. The semester will be modified by splitting it into two parts, first half and second half. The courses of the students will be divided into two sets based on the number of units and number of hours. Each course will be in modular approach and have extended hours to satisfy the required number of hours for the whole semester and will be completed within the allotted number of weeks, usually 9 weeks, as per approved academic calendar. Students, please keep in mind that the pandemic is still ongoing and that we should take precautions in our everyday routines. Health and safety remain our top priority. For any class activity, whether it takes place in person or online, it is imperative that you work in close coordination with your instructor. The adoption of these measures is our dynamic response to the current developments in the implementation of flexible learning approaches which may be used in various contexts, environments, or circumstances. Limited face-to-face and flexible learning classes can only be successful with the participation and cooperation of all students. As members of the PSAU community, let us reaffirm these guiding principles and persist in our efforts to ensure that the students and the future of our nation receive the highest quality education.